Welcome to the Daughter Dearest Podcast with Simone and Olivia Knegos, making the world a better place one conversation at a time. Mom Simone and daughter Olivia share authentic discussions about everything under the sun, including those things you might be thinking about but feel uncomfortable talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Now here are your hosts, Simone and Olivia.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Daughter Dearest Podcast. I'm Simone Knegos.
And I'm Olivia Knegos.
And today we are going to be talking about culinary skills. And I feel like I really lack them. Now, it's not to say that I don't cook. With 6 kids, you kind of have to cook or you can't survive, right? So, yeah. But I don't think I realized until like the last couple of years how basic I was in terms of cooking until my older kids pointed it out.
What do you mean by basic?
Well, like I cook the same stuff all the time. It's not like exciting. But the problem is like there's a couple of you guys that really like boring and they like the same things. And so it was kind of like if I'm going to cook for everyone, I'm going to cook what everyone's going to eat, excluding Noah, because Noah does not eat what I cook no matter what. So, but I don't know. I just feel like I should be like making more complicated things, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, like who has time for, I mean, I have time for that and I do that, but that's because I like to do it.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, like, I don't know why I don't enjoy it. Like my mom she's 84 and she really doesn't cook anymore, which I think she's like so thrilled not to have to cook anymore. She eats like yogurt, soup, chicken tenders.
Yeah.
But she was great because everything was homemade. She grew up on a farm. So it wasn't like it was like intricate cooking, but it was always good. Right. And I think that's like what I was used to. And then I have a lot of friends that like cook super fancy. And I'm like, oh, I'm not so good at that.
Think of, I don't know. Have you seen Desperate Housewives?
Maybe years ago.
Well, there was just I never finished it and I watched it a while ago and I can't remember anything for the life of me anyways, but there was one of the moms in that like made like a 3-course dinner every single dinner and it was always something like super fancy, super artisanal. In the first scene that she's in with her family, it's her family complaining about like why can't they ever just have pizza?
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah,
but it's hard to believe there's people like that exist.
I think there's a lot of people like that cook like that.
Mind-blowing to me.
But I think you also want what you don't have or what you're not used to, right? Like, so I feel like I should be doing more, or I wish I liked doing it more. Maybe that's it. Not that I should be, but I wish I liked doing things like that more, because when we do go to other people's houses and they serve something really fancy, you're like, huh, that's impressive. It's just not me. I don't like cooking. You know what I like even less than cooking?
What?
Grocery shopping.
I love grocery shopping. I went today.
I hate it. I don't know why,
but in Florida it's fine. Here the aisles are too small and the stores don't ever have anything you want, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm spending so much money. Home, it's nice.
I'm glad you like it.
I love grocery shopping.
That's not a thing for me. Honestly, the best thing that ever happened to me was Instacart. And I know I'm paying more and I know I don't get to pick out the produce, but I just feel like, again, because we eat so many things on repeat, I can just click order again, order again, order again. Maybe that's just a bad habit to be in though.
No, that is for sure a bad habit to be in. Like you're not even expanding.
Well, again, right now, so it's who eats? It's me, Dad, Millie. I mean, Emma's here for a bit, so she'll eat, but I have to, obviously now with Emma home, I have to do everything gluten-free, which makes it more complicated. So then it's kind of, for me, I'm not like a baker. So it's even more basic because it's grilling. Like it's basically rice, meat, potatoes, vegetables, salad, like, and I know you can make that more exciting. I just guess I choose not to. I don't know.
That's so boring of you.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you cooking?
Well, today it's like my off day and I should have done work, but I didn't. But I did go grocery shopping. I cleaned and I made homemade chicken stock today because I'm
Wow.
on a soup kick. Yeah, I just keep a bunch of scraps in my freezer. And then every once in a while I'll make like a whole thing of stock. And then so I'm making broccoli cheddar soup tonight and then a garlic cheese focaccia.
That sounds great, except for I can't eat any of that. Can't have the cheese, so I'm out.
Yeah, what the heck?
Good.
Your life actually must suck. I love food and I love cooking.
You love soup.
You can't even eat cheese. I love soup. It's soup season. All I want to do is eat soup. So that's why I have to make chicken stock because chicken
Yeah,
stock is stupid expensive. Just don't throw out your veggie scraps and don't throw out your rotisserie chicken carcasses. Easy peasy. It's like
easy peasy. But
literally is easy peasy.
yeah, but then what do you do? You keep it in your fridge or you freeze it
Yeah,
or
I
what do you
jar
do?
it and then I freeze it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have made chicken stock many times. I don't know. I just feel like I'm in this very boring part of like not wanting to do stuff. And I feel like a lot of times when I do put in the effort, it's still not that great. Like I cooked something last night that was good, but Millie looked at it and she was like, because it was like it had turnips and sweet potatoes and chicken. It was like this spicy chicken thighs. And yeah, she was she was like, oh, okay. I was
Okay,
like,
well,
oh, well, there's ramen if you want to make it.
yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, your dad liked the food. He was like, that was really good. But
Yeah,
I
I
just feel like
definitely
uninspired.
yeah.
I don't know.
I,
And
I mean, I often feel uninspired, but I guess like I like cooking here, even though the kitchen is like very small and there's not a lot because and it goes hand in hand with grocery shopping. It's like I'm always trying to like get the best deal on everything. So like every week my grocery haul is going to be different, literally, but based on what's on sale, like what's in season, what's just like literally what's on sale, honestly, which makes it really fun because then nothing is ever going to be the same.
yeah,
Like
I mean, that's a cool way to do
pork was
it.
really good. I don't eat a lot of pork normally, but there was a lot of good deals on pork.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you
I was
bought
like,
you some
okay.
pork. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I honestly don't know because I don't cook the same thing twice ever.
Wow.
Because I feel like a lot of my cooking, I don't follow recipes. I kind of just like see what's in my fridge. If I don't know how to make something, like I'm not familiar with roux-based soups, so I'll look at like a basic recipe for it, and then I'll just make it my own based off of what I have. I actually do think I'm a really good cook. That's one of those things that I'm just like very confident in my abilities. I am incredibly injury prone in the kitchen, though. I mean, this semester alone, in the last month, I've had like three pretty big injuries in the kitchen. I wouldn't even
Three?
tell you about the last one.
I was gonna say, I don't know
I
about
burned my
three.
finger like pretty intense on my thumb, like pretty bad. And it was like it's probably like this big of a blister. And then it popped and now it's like all scabbed over. It's really gross. But like I just am like and I don't know where this injury proneness is coming from. Like I definitely happened a lot as a kid, but like in the last month, I've just been really, really, I guess, not cautious.
Well, maybe you're not paying attention, right? Like
I'm
you're
never paying attention.
okay, there you go. That's why you fall down.
Well, duh.
Happens.
Well, duh.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing about cooking, and this is like a mindset thing that I have to change, is that it takes so much time to cook something and then it's gone in 10 minutes, right? So
Oh, I never feel that way.
yeah, so you spend 2 hours cooking something and then you're like, oh, it's
Yeah, I
gone.
don't have that mindset at all.
Yeah. See, I think people that love to cook don't have that mindset, right?
No,
They're
I never
like,
think like that.
yeah, because I think of all the work it takes to, between the time that you put in between grocery shopping, okay, not me because Instacart, but grocery shopping, then the prep, then the cooking, and then the putting everything on the table. There's so much time and then it's gone. And you're like, okay, that was a lot of time. Can't get that time back. But, I guess that's not the way to look at it. The look at it is that you made
No.
this nice meal for your friends and family. Maybe I just have a bad attitude about cooking. And I also think like, I think that if I were really talented at it, like you definitely didn't learn how to cook from me, right? You just learned how to cook. Like we did some stuff at home, but you
Yeah,
just
I
learned
just
how
learned
to
how to
cook.
cook, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. And And maybe like it's better when you put in your own time on it, so you kind of learn what you like to do and what you don't like to do.
It's also one of those hobbies that you kind of like have to do every day. So
Yeah.
then you get better at it. Like if I don't cook, I don't eat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't cook and they, eat out, which is very unhealthy. But I mean,
No,
you,
I feel like when I eat out, it's never like, oh, I don't want to cook. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's night and I don't want to go to the grocery store and get stuff because we're out of stuff, or oh, I'm just like in the mood to order out. It's never because I don't want to cook anything.
I think the difference here too is that like you, and I know it's expensive there, but you walk 2 blocks and you're at your store, right? And then you walk back. Not even, okay?
My grocery store
Like,
is so close.
yeah, and it's not like it's far here, but you're still in the car driving there to get it. So
It's
you're not
so
going to go
funny
every
because I
day.
have the opposite mindset though. I have the mindset that like not in regards to groceries, but I was thinking the other day, I was like, God, like I would like enjoy going to the gym so much more if I just didn't have to walk there.
Oh, that's funny.
And
Yeah,
I
and
just
I'm thinking about like the grocery store, like and more not so much the walking there, but because it's so close, you can go every day or every other day and get something instead of like trying to meal plan for a week. And for
yeah.
me, meal planning for a week, it's like, oh, am I gonna want that on Thursday night? Right? Like so,
Yeah. I never really do meal plan. Like I just buy and then cook. I don't think I would enjoy meal planning as much. Like I think it would take away the fun of it for me or like the spontaneity. Like I
yeah,
enjoy like planning meals, but not like weekly meal planning.
right. Which again, when you have a busy schedule and then later in life when you have kids, you kind of have to do some planning.
Yeah.
It's very hard to just say whatever's in the fridge I'm going to make. I mean, I see the kids right now, they walked in the house from school. They opened up the fridge, they were both like, there's nothing in there. Like nothing that they wanted. It's not that there's nothing in there, but there's nothing
Yeah.
that they wanted. So you hear the fridge like slam and kind of like disgust. I'm like, well, I'm cooking later, but like right now, have some crackers. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know? I do love Thanksgiving. So that even though
Well,
that
then
takes
why
a
do you
ton
like
of time,
Thanksgiving?
I don't, because it's like the bringing everyone together and it's not like you're not rushing through it, right? Even though you can't, like it's, this food is still going to be gone in 15 minutes. It's still like it's like the all day of cooking with each other. And that's what I like the working
Yeah.
together on a meal and not just like me getting it done so everybody can eat. It's kind of like it's like fun. Everybody's around talking while you're in the kitchen. You're not just doing it by yourself or
It is
whatever.
really fun. I like really enjoy Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah. By the way, did you book your flight yet?
No, I told you I'm not gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I told you I haven't done it yet because I have weird dates. Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you, just reminding you, book your
Oh,
flight. I
I have
know.
so many things to do still.
Yes, make your list on pink paper. Just do it.
I
I
did. I
know.
mean, I organized myself a little bit on my stickies on my laptop.
And you
Um,
you dusted your room, which is very exciting.
I did dust my room. I found a duster, by the way. I do have one.
Oh, I thought I bought you one actually.
Yep,
Hmm.
you do. Yeah,
Okay.
you did, or someone did. So we
Okay.
have one.
Good. Um, Other than the time where you got your fingers stuck in the immersion blender, which was, not that was one of the 3 injuries she had this month.
Yeah, it's not the
Again,
first time.
it's a very it's a very weird thing to happen to you.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it really sucks because I really want one. Like,
so
I
get in
really,
the
really
just
want
don't
an.
stick your finger in it. I think you've learned now. So get an immersion blender and don't stick your finger in it.
Yeah, okay.
But do you have any like cooking stories that have gone wrong? Like something you were making and you're like, you forgot about it or you forgot to put something in it. And so it just, tasted like shit because you forgot a key ingredient. Because I have a few good ones.
Remember the maggot pie?
Yeah, I remember the maggot pie. And we told the story, right? That
Oh, I think we did.
yeah. So Thanksgiving, we have, an extra oven and I never use the extra oven. And so we were making these onion pies and
Yeah.
the way it was set up, there was a rack like really close to the top and the oven is closer to the ground. So unless you really bent down, you couldn't see what was on that rack. And so, you know, Thanksgiving, we had like 40 people there that year, and we had a ton of food, and I totally forgot about the onion pies. And the house started smelling bad, and we started having like fruit flies everywhere. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? And I had opened the door to the oven. I was like, oh, there's nothing there, but I didn't bend down. And so I didn't see what was on the top shelf. And literally it was 2 pies. I almost vomited when I finally figured it out. 2 pies that had been left in there for like 6 weeks with cheese and onions and lots of bugs. It was so disgusting. I was like, I don't know if I can use the oven ever again. Actually, we got a new oven since then, so I don't have to.
So gross. That was one of those things. I was like, oh my God. And now you'll never forget.
No. Oh, no. I look at it even just because, and I don't even cook in it. But I've done I've done a lot of bad things in the kitchen, but I remember once making a pecan pie, and I didn't want to make the crust, so I bought a pre-made crust, and I wasn't paying attention. And what I realized once I cooked it is that I left the wax paper in the bottom of the crust.
Funny.
So basically the filling was on top of the wax paper, which was on top of the crust. So you could scoop the filling out if you wanted to, but I'm like, okay, come on. And I was like making it to take somewhere. So I was like,
oh my
okay,
God.
I guess we're buying something.
Funny. I burn things a lot because I don't pay attention and I forget things, and I consistently never set timers for myself. I'm really bad at making rice. The other day,
making rice.
I had to like recook or to soak this pan probably like for 2 days. I was talking to you. I was like, I do not know how to get the burnt rice out of the bottom of this pan.
Did it come out?
Yeah, finally.
That's pretty good.
I had to boil it. I boiled it. I put water in there and just like let it. Yeah.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah.
My worst burning of food was leaving. And again, now I always set a timer whether I'm making crescent rolls for Noah or whatever I'm doing. I always set a timer because otherwise I walk away and I get distracted and completely forget. And I was boiling eggs. And I got on a Zoom call and I left them there for long enough. They became like explosive. They were like bombs. They literally exploded. Obviously, all the water was gone, and there was eggs across. And our kitchen is pretty big, so there was pieces of eggs from one side to the other, and there was like an explosion, like a bang. And I was like, "What the heck is happening?" And thankfully, I wasn't in there because I would have been burned by it, right? And I go in there, and literally, there's egg pieces everywhere. And I was like, "Who knew that when you boiled an egg for that long, it would become a bomb?" Becomes a bomb. And it was so messy. Oh my gosh, it was so messy. It was like
never happened to me.
Smart. Set a timer or it will happen to you.
I should set more timers because I do consistently just burn things.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there. Actually what's even better is when you set the timer on your phone, because then you take the phone with you so you don't forget about it. So
yeah. And I have my watch. I don't know. It's one of those things.
We'll resume this in a second. So I think it is time for Freaky Florida. And
what's going on in your state?
Well, we had some kind of funny stuff, but or some ridiculous stuff. But I think what I'm going to do is tell you about, I love talking about alligators for some reason. So did you see the story about the alligator that is missing the top part of its jaw?
I feel like I've seen that.
So it's actually very cute. Rescuers who took in a jawless Florida alligator have given the bedraggled reptile a new Dolly Parton inspired name. Any idea what it is?
No. Is it going to be something bad?
No. Jolene.
That's funny, but also I feel bad for the alligator.
Yeah, well, they saved it. They didn't have to rescue it. So
does it have like a prosthetic jaw?
No, it's like the whole top is gone. It's like it's missing. It's like it had some kind of injury, they say, but they took it in and it's now at Gatorland, a 110-acre theme park near Orlando that rescues alligators. And
Gatorland sounds
So
like a Scooby-Doo episode. I think it is a Scooby-Doo episode, actually.
it probably is.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, so they're singing the song
Oh,
Jolene, Jolene.
how have
I'm
we never
like,
been to Gatorland, Mom?
well, we could go if you really want to. I didn't really like alligators that much. I like to talk about them and I like
I
to
mean,
watch
now
like
I'm
their spooky
curious.
videos, but I mean,
Now
they're
I want
really,
to go see.
yeah, you're
You know,
gonna
when
have to
I
go
was
see
looking for my
Jolene.
story today, the first thing that came up was like Florida alligator found with human remains in its mouth. I was
That
like,
was the one
oh,
I mentioned last time.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I mean, that one was a, but for next
Yeah,
time, yeah.
I
So
didn't know.
I thought that one was actually kind of cute that
Yeah, that was
they
sweet.
rescued it. They could have, I mean, it was only like 18 pounds or something. Obviously, probably hard for it to eat or catch food. So now it will be fed, which is good for it. But there was another story, and I just have to bring this up because I'm like, okay, there's always something weird, right? And I don't think these people were from Florida, but this happened at Disney at their Typhoon Lagoon water park. I don't know
Oh,
if you
good.
saw this one.
No,
Disney
I did
sued
not.
Disney sued over severe injuries allegedly caused by wedgie from water slide.
Oh my God. I
Now,
agree though. Oh, have you ever been down a water slide? It hurts so bad.
yeah, well, yes, I have, and I agree, but you supposedly her injuries were pretty substantial, but like it's a water slide that goes kind of straight down, and she kind of bumped the side at one point, and so her legs came uncrossed. Like if you read the story, you're like, okay, yep, and she
Ow.
had to be taken to the hospital and all. So I think she's suing for
I
hundreds of
haven't been
millions of
there done
dollars.
that.
Actually, maybe the best part of it was the as part of the suit, she was suing for damages for her husband as well because it says like the loss of consortium or something.
No offense to any personal injury lawyers listening to this, but for that alone, that's why I won't. That's why I can't do that kind of law. Like, no, that is ridiculous. Oh, really?
Really, you got to read the article. It's a
I have
good one.
nothing to like. I'm speechless with that.
Yeah. So I gave you two freaky Floridas, but I just felt like I had to put that one in there because I
The
saw it and I
second,
was like,
the
I
second one
know.
is still Florida.
Yeah, I just did. I feel bad for the woman. Obviously, I don't know what the real story is. I felt bad for her, but I was like, okay, really, you sustained an injury like that? Okay, good. Poor thing. Poor thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I sustained an injury like that and we didn't sue. It wasn't Disney.
I know. We
We should
should
have
have
sued.
sued.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what the
but I
hell?
don't. I don't like suing people. Come on. Like, I just think that's just bad. Like,
Yeah, because
again,
I
when
think
you,
a little bit of bad karma, especially when it's like it was. I mean, I was 5. It was definitely like no one's intention.
yeah, I mean,
I
you
had an
know,
accident on like a playground. I don't know
yeah,
what they were called,
play. I don't know,
like a jumping
climbing
thing.
place. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. That's
but I
that's a
feel like it's a
story
little
for
bit
another
bad
day.
karma.
Yeah. No, I think I'm not, I don't want to sue people. Obviously, if maybe someone killed one of my children, I might, but that's a different day, different story. Okay, let's go
Yeah, that'd be
back.
pretty crazy. Okay, back to cooking.
Let's go back to cooking. So, yeah, I think that like my strengths are in the boring foods. Like, and the way I make foods maybe is kind of boring. So, like grilling's very easy. Okay, I do grilling all the time.
Yeah, I just don't have a
Or
grill,
I
so
make
I don't.
tacos. And you could make way more exciting tacos, but we can also just go down to like we have this great taco place at the gas station around the corner and the tacos are like $2.50 a piece. So like I'd rather eat their tacos than try to recreate them because there's a really good and then I'm supporting their business as well. See?
That's a
I
good
spun
way
it
to
that
look
way.
at it.
Yeah. But
Sure. I just like can't imagine people that just order out all the time.
yeah, and there are plenty of people that do or
Yeah.
that just open boxes, right? They don't they buy all pre-made food. So I mean, I do still cook majority of days. I just think it's like boring food. I think I'm going to challenge myself to do better. Like think back to when you were a kid. Like was I a crappy cook?
I mean, I just really remember how bad those tilapia tacos were. For a while, I don't know why, 'cause no one actually likes tilapia, at least in our family. She would, and it's like I don't know, like we weren't in like some great recession or something where we couldn't afford to buy a better fish than tilapia. But there was like a couple of months where you just consistently made tilapia tacos and like they were seasoned fine. Tilapia is just like not a good fish. Like it's very fishy. It very much tastes like where you catch it, which where you catch it is like the overfill drains. Like
I was not catching the fish. Let's clarify that. I
yeah,
did buy it at a grocery store.
I don't know. I don't know how to clean a fish. I doubt you do.
Oh, I would never do it. I don't like eating fish. It's funny. I would make the tilapia tacos, but I wouldn't eat them. I don't eat fish that I cook.
Like what the heck? And no, like we were just like, okay, it's not good.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
What else? What else did I cook bad when I was
cycles? Like there was a barbecue chicken that you always used to make, and it was good. It was just like you always used to make it.
I used a crock pot for a while. I was doing like crock pot things.
I'm not anti the crock pot like most people are. I think crock pots are fine. I think they do an efficient job of cooking.
Well, that was like when I was teaching. So
yeah.
I was gone all day, so I had to do something.
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
spaghetti.
Nobody likes spaghetti anymore, except for Millie. Millie would have spaghetti every day if you offered it to her.
It's weird. Yeah. Spaghetti, I don't just like plain red sauce.
Yeah, and I do. Well, I make that one red sauce. I
like that
one. That one's good.
I will not eat like. I don't really
jarred
eat
sauce.
Yeah, jarred sauce. I don't like if I'm using it. I'm using it because we have nothing else tomato in the fridge, and I'm spicing it up with something. But I'm not the kind of person that would ever just like boil penne and throw sauce on top. I am a ramen noodle person. I love instant noodles. I will never just eat like a plain thing of instant noodles, so I'm spicing that up too.
What do you add to it? What do you add to it?
Oh, it depends. There was a while where I was just like using the noodles and not the packet, and I was making a lot of peanut butter noodles over the summer, which I thoroughly
peanut butter.
Yeah, like peanut butter.
What does that even mean?
Like, like Thai noodles, but like Thai.
Oh, okay.
Like that
I was thinking,
like not like sweet. Not like sweet.
I was thinking you're putting peanut butter on ramen noodles and it tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich made out of noodles.
No. More like a pad thai-esque, spicy. That hurt my stomach though. Most things do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with that?
Just adding an egg, always an egg. Always sriracha. I don't like mine soupy, so like I like it as more of like noodles, I guess.
Whatever. I mean, it's a good cheap meal, right? I mean, think about it. Yeah. There's 6 packets for like $2.
No, it's so good. And it's like literally just so good.
Yeah. I never made that. My mom always made that for you guys.
Yeah, we never had it in the house.
No.
You're weird because thinking back, like you didn't have like a lot of processed foods in the house.
No, I didn't. I really tried to cook. I just sucked at it,
Yeah.
And I don't want to say suck, but just not good. Just like I said, basic.
You just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to be.
I think I tried to like it.
That's fair.
For a little while when everyone was home, then I was like, okay, like this should be like a cool thing. And now I think like, if I cook one day, can I like eat leftovers for the next 2? But that's not how it should be.
That's how I live.
Yeah, but you're a college student.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a 51-year-old woman with kids still at home.
But like, I feel like a lot of people, first of all, I did not realize like a lot of families don't have family dinner every night. And it wasn't even just like family dinner. Like we would all just sit at the table together. Like that is not a thing in a lot of households. It wasn't like an official thing in ours, but we just do it, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't official like, but
it wasn't like
at the table and say no, it wasn't like everything's
like,
going to be done at 6. It was like everybody was home, we make dinner, everybody comes down.
Yeah, and that's like not a thing in a lot of households.
Well, things get busy, right? I mean, you think about like all the kids who have sports late night, right? And so like if you have older kids and younger kids, are your younger kids gonna wait until 8 o'clock or 8:30 at night to eat dinner? Probably not. So it makes it harder. But yeah, we were pretty fortunate that I wouldn't say every night, but multiple times a week we would have, we would all sit down for dinner. Yeah. And you guys talked a lot, like over each other constantly. Just like what we do on the podcast. See, we do it now too.
Yeah, well, Okay. Call me.
No, I
And now what
called
you guys
myself
do?
out too. And we still have to sit down and have dinner. Like last night, your dad was like, "Can I just sit on the couch tonight?" And I did make good food, so I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then Millie looked at the food. She was like, "Not interested." And Noah was like, "I'm not hungry." So we sat on the
Awesome.
couch. We sat on the couch and had dinner. I forget what we watched. We
Nice.
watched something. Oh, we watched a Netflix movie actually. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think that of all the kids, though, I mean, Jacob does like to cook as well, but I think you and Jacob are the only ones really. I mean, Emma has started liking to cook and she's got to figure out things a little bit more, having to be gluten free now. So that like takes a lot more effort.
It suck. I'm glad I don't actually have to do that.
Ari can make eggs. That was like my dad. My dad can make eggs. That's all he can make. So Ari can make eggs. I'm sure he could figure it out if he needed to. He wouldn't like starve to death by not being able to cook.
Yeah.
Millie can make her ramen. That's about it. She doesn't really care to. I've said to her, like, "Oh, do you want me to teach you how to do that?" She's like, no, before I leave for college. Before I leave for college. So, but I'm not,
I
I wish that I had like these great skills to give to you guys when it comes to cooking, or like these family recipes. Like so many families have these incredible recipes to pass down, right? Like
yeah.
even with
But I mean, like grandma's recipes that I have are just like box mixes that she adds extra stuff to.
yeah, and it's funny as a kid, I never realized like that I always thought that like she was making these amazing meals all the time, which they were really good. Like
Yeah.
she would make meatloaf and mashed potatoes and pot roast and barbecue
I
chicken.
actually don't have her meatloaf recipe or her mashed potatoes. Her mashed potatoes are really good.
Yeah, she makes really good mashed potatoes. But she too, I think, cooked like kind of on a schedule. Like she cooked a lot of the same stuff. It wasn't like and it
Yeah,
was always good.
but yeah, when I think of like what grandma made, like I can think of meatloaf and mashed potatoes, chicken
Pot
schnitzel,
roast, chicken schnitzel.
sometimes pot roast, but she never really made pot roast for us.
Yeah.
She always makes like one specific type of salad dressing. And then
Yeah.
like later in life, aka like when I was an adult and started like remembering things, I guess, like she has this cheddar zucchini soup, but like I didn't learn that she made that until like 12th grade or 11th grade. And then like she does really good stuffed cabbage. Which, oh
Yeah.
man, I'll make stuffed cabbage soon. I'm adding that to my list. That's definitely tedious, but I want it.
It's really tedious. But it is delicious. So yeah, I mean but she was like rotating, and also she had the belief, and when we were younger and when you guys were younger, I also had the belief that you had to have a meat, a potato, a vegetable, and a salad. And so that's what I would do every night. And maybe that's why it got so boring for me. But yeah, every night, same kind of configuration
It's kind
of
of a crazy amount of food when you realize it, because like that's how I definitely went into cooking. But then I realized like as a college student, I cannot have like a carb, a meat, or a carb, a protein, a vegetable, and a salad every single night. Like sometimes I'm lucky if I get two.
yeah, and I mean, I don't think you need it, right? Like I think that
No.
and there's so much effort involved in making all those different things. And then I was also used to cooking for so many people, right? When there was
Yeah.
8 of us at home, so I was always 2 packages of meat, so 2 packages of chicken, the double recipe of rice, that everything was like,
Yeah.
and it was just a lot. And there were leftovers most nights, but that's kind of like now I'm like, okay, wait, how much do I really need to cook for
Yeah.
3 people, right?
I think
A
I
third.
definitely struggle with that as well. And then like sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I'll half it, and then like that's not enough food at all. Or I'll be like, oh no, I'll keep it, and that's like way too much food.
Are you a big, do you make salads a lot or no?
No,
It's too healthy?
they're just expensive.
Yeah,
Like
that's the problem
buying
too.
everything for a salad is expensive, and then it goes bad faster because like lettuce goes bad faster than like green beans do. So like the green beans I can keep in my fridge for like a week. The lettuce I have in my fridge I probably need to use today or tomorrow the day after. So I'm not using it
Yeah,
today.
that's part of it too. I hate food waste and I feel like I get too much of it. Again, that's the planning for a week at a time. And then, reaching a day where I'm like, you know what, I don't want to cook that today. And then I'm like, what am I going to do with all that? But
Yeah.
we have a good farmer's market here, so we can get some decent stuff that's not too unreasonable. But it's funny how like your mindset is on cost of stuff
For sure.
because I was talking the other day to someone about like I went to the store and blackberries were like $5 for like a little container. And I like to get them when they're buy one, get one free, which isn't that often, but still like, or when they're like three something, they were $5. I was like, I forget that. And then 2 seconds later, I'm buying a $6.80 coffee at Starbucks, right? So like,
But I
it's
get
such
it.
a weird mindset.
I mean, there are some aspects in my life where I'm incredibly frugal, and like grocery shopping and cooking is one of them. Like I am going to make the meat last. Like I'm going to split up the packet, freeze half, not keep the other half in my fridge. I don't know. It's just food is expensive in New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's much more expensive than it is here. But it's a weird mindset to like say, oh, that healthy thing is just too expensive. I won't buy that. But then I'll go spend my money on this. Like, no
Yeah.
problem. It's a weird thing.
Well, like if in terms of like salads and stuff, I'd rather just go into a salad store and pay that rather than pay the same amount, probably like $15 for everything in a salad versus $15 for a salad. Yes, I'd get more if I made it, but then it would probably just sit there and go bad.
And you also like you're fortunate because you have all those kind of salad places around you. Like,
Oh
where you
yeah.
can just go out and get like, and you tell them what you ask them what you want put in there, and then it's, fantastic. Where, yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah. Wait, real quick. I'm going to do my keeping up with the country.
Oh yeah, what's happening in our country
Which
this
is
week?
also related to alligators, but
Oh,
not in.
that's funny.
So the Phillies, they're a baseball team in Philadelphia, obviously. So
Thank
a
you for the
Phillies fan
clarification.
tried to bring his emotional support animal to the Philadelphia game versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. And guess what his emotional support animal was?
I think you already busted it.
Yep, an alligator named Wally Gator. Social media posts showed the gator on a leash with a harness with his name on it outside the stadium on Wednesday. But the official policy of the stadium is that guide dogs, service animals, and service animals in training are welcome. Other animals are prohibited, so it does not include support animals. So he was not allowed in. But apparently, Wally Gator helps his owner battle depression and that he likes to give hugs. He also added that the gator has never bitten anyone. I disagree. I feel like how does your gator not bite anyone? Because Rosie's bitten me.
How big is this gator?
I don't know. Wait, let me see if I can find a picture. I feel like it has to be like one of the babies.
It's got to be a baby,
Oh,
right?
it's really not as small as you would think.
that was like the look of shock.
Yeah, like a Komodo dragon sized gator.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
Pretty freaking big. Like
and he
definitely.
just tried to walk it into the stadium on a leash, or he carried it.
No, walked him in on a leash.
Oh my gosh!
I don't think he's too big to carry him on. Like it's like if you carried him, it would be like not like ooh like a
yeah, but he likes to give hugs.
Apparently, and he's never bitten anyone.
Apparently, yeah. Okay, that's a good one. I can't imagine like trying to bring your.
Have it in Florida.
Yeah, that is pretty shocking, actually. Like, who has an alligator up? I guess that guy does, but I mean, who has an alligator up in Philadelphia?
Who is crazy enough to have an alligator be an emotional support animal outside of the state of Florida?
And don't you feel like an alligator needs to get some exercise? Like, what do? He just walks it down the street? Like, doesn't it need a pond to swim in? And I'm asking way too many questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there, and I can't answer them.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, thank you for that. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close up our cooking discussion.
This entire time, I've been thinking about a case study that we watched during my cross-cultural anthropology class, which was about Duncan Hines, and like a lot of it was doing focus groups, like why do people that bake? So for you, why do you bake? Because you have to for an occasion. But a lot of these people, it's based off of like, yes, the enjoyment of baking it itself, but a lot of it is the compliments and like the ego boost you get after. And I think that's kind of the same for me. Like, yes, I enjoy like the actual like therapeutic for baking, at least. Like for cooking, I like the process of cutting, like chopping and then like stir frying and then like eating. But for baking, a lot of it is just like people at the end being like, oh my God, that was like really good.
So it's really interesting that you say that. So yes, the chopping and stuff, I can see like that being therapeutic for a lot of people. I can totally see that. The interesting thing is when you think about the the baking part and what you just said about getting the compliments,
Mhm.
it really brought back a lot of memories from your grandmother, from Rob's mom, and
Yeah.
how she was always waiting for that compliment about her food. And as she got older and things weren't like she used to make them, she would instantly qualify it when she brought it out, and she'd be like, it's too salty. It's not like I used to make. It's this, it's
Yeah.
that. Like, so that, because she still, she wanted to clarify, like, oh, this isn't how I used to make it.
Yeah.
But she still was searching for that
Well,
compliment.
that's kind of what I do too with my cooking. I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel kind of off today.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm searching for the
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, compliment. I don't say like I'm off today. I'm gonna be like, this is just not good, but sorry, that's what we got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never serve anything that's like bad, hopefully. Maybe my roommates would disagree. There's only one time I cooked anything that I thought was like truly horrendous, and it was like frozen cod. And I've just learned that like I don't like white fish unless it's fresh. And even then, I don't think I really like white fish. You know what, Mom? I hate to say it, but I might be on the same bandwagon as you, where I really don't like fish unless it's sushi or salmon, which is weird to say.
I just don't like cooking fish at home. I just don't like my house to smell like fish.
No, I try not to make seafood in this apartment. We have no vent to vent anything out. That means the way the scent will get out is through our bedroom windows.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it stinks.
not.
It stinks. And yeah, the idea of there maybe being bones in there, like for me, that's like my biggest. I have an issue with bones, and actually with chicken, it's fine, or other meat, it's fine.
Oh,
but when it comes to fish, yeesh, I saw this machine today. I was watching, I don't know, some video, probably Facebook, and it's a machine that once it cuts the salmon, it's a machine that somehow it debones the whole thing. It was like this, I mean, in a factory, like not like that you'd have in your house. And I was like, I actually had to turn it off because I was like, just watching the bones come out of the fish was making me nauseous. I don't know what it is about me with fish bones. Can't do it. Can't do it. Just grosses me out. Just grosses me out. So we don't eat a lot of fish around here. We do eat seafood. I like seafood.
Yeah. But I don't know. Don't eat a lot of fish.
Yeah. It does get stinky. And honestly, the seafood, I like to do it like because Wednesday is garbage day. So like any shells or things like I can put out like right away. So like because then the outside, because it gets so hot here that the trash cans are sitting outside. So then it really starts to stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can tell from all this, I'm just not a very good cook. And I'm glad you are. I'm glad like you, I'm glad that you like it.
Injury prone.
Yeah, well, we all have our things. I mean, at least you like it.
Yeah, I just like wish I wasn't as clumsy as a human being.
Yeah. Okay, well, try to focus when you're cooking. Try to focus. Set an alarm. Do all those things. That'll help. Right. Yeah, those are good takeaways. If it says 12 minutes, it means 12 minutes. Set the alarm for 12 minutes, or else you're gonna have mushy noodles or burnt rice. You could also get a rice cooker.
I have no room for any more appliances, but once I move out into a different apartment, I will get a rice cooker.
Okay, there you go. What's your calendar telling us?
It's a long one today. Just so you know, it's Labor Day in Australia, but not all of the regions of Australia. And it's the Queen's birthday in Australia, but again, only one region. I would say the region's names, but I have no clue what they are. It just has the initials on there. And
okay.
Yeah. So if you're to leave a relationship, leave with the kind of care and honor you went into it with, regardless of how the other person is responding to this situation. It's called personal integrity. Abuse it at your peril. That was
okay. Intense. It's a really good statement. I mean, it has no correlation to our cooking adventures today, but it is some good advice, right? I always wonder that, and I'll leave you with this. I always wonder what.
Well, no, please say.
No, thank you.
Sum this up real quick. It's don't burn your bridges.
Well, it is don't burn your bridges, but also I never understood when you get married and you're so passionately in love with someone, how when you get divorced or when people get divorced, not you, not me, that you can hate that person so much, right? Like that you can be so, and I understand things happen in relationships, but it's like, it's what it said, like go in with the same kind of respect that you did before and after, or whatever it said, integrity, like be true to yourself. It's always about being true to yourself.
Amen.
respecting yourself, looking in the mirror every day and saying, I love who I am. There we go. It was great seeing you.
Good to see you too.
We'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Daughter Dearest Podcast with Simone and Olivia Knegos. We hope this episode has made your day just a little bit brighter and given you the inspiration you need to confidently go about your week. Always remember to be authentically you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to connect with them on Instagram at Daughter Dearest Podcast, at Simone Knegos, and at Olivia Knegos. Till next time.